Welcome to the Digital Business Evolution Podcast, a place that you can now call home. I know you're creating long-lasting impact in this world, and you absolutely deserve the time, location, career, and financial freedom that you desire. I'm here to guide you with proven strategies, tools, and mindset hacks that I've taught to thousands of business owners. You'll also be hearing from exceptional guests sharing stories of their own personal and business evolution. My name is Jessica DeRose, and I'm here to teach you what I'm learning. We are all inherently worthy, regardless of the number of degrees, awards, and accolades that we've collected along the way. Grab a notebook, a coffee, and enjoy the show. Hello, and welcome back to the show. I am coming to you today with a controversial topic, but I'm really excited to talk about it because it's something that I know holds back so many incredible experts, coaches, trainers, and people who really want to show up in this world and help. And yet this tiny little thing holds them back. So what we're chatting about today is this concept of needing certifications or wanting more certifications before you actually start building your business. Let me just start the episode by saying, disclaimer, you absolutely should be certified, and I do not encourage anybody to be practicing outside their legal scope of practice. Of course, there is a blurry fine line there as well, because you have people that learned through experience. Maybe they've gone through a transformation themselves. Maybe it's like a Bill Belichick type thing, right? So he's the coach of the Patriots and arguably one of the best coaches in the NFL. But he can't necessarily run as fast or throw as far as his players, yet he can coach them to do those things. So there is this blurry fine line. But again, the disclaimer that I'm starting off with is you absolutely should be certified in whatever area you need to be, depending on what it is that you are teaching and sharing. All right, so I said it there, and now I want to back into exactly what I want to talk about. So I, if you didn't know, was a personal trainer for 18 years. And over those 18 years, I accrued dozens of certifications, quite literally dozens. I had everything from CrossFit to TRX, group fitness and spin, prenatal, postnatal, the list goes on. 18 years, I have dozens of certifications. But those certifications didn't necessarily make me a great trainer. They taught me a lot of things. But what made me a great trainer was time in the marketplace. It was experience. Everything from building a business, because if you didn't realize, when you're a trainer, you're actually a business owner. And that's something that they don't teach you when you go and get certified. They don't teach you that you're going to be doing marketing and that you're going to have to find leads and that you're going to have to learn how to close sales, right? They don't teach you how to manage your clients and customer support your clients and all of these different pieces where you sort of accidentally get thrown into entrepreneurship. So what I want to talk about today is this concept of you don't need another certification or a piece of paper or another degree. Again, disclaimer from the beginning, you might, depending on what it is that you're teaching. But what you do need, if you want to build a coaching business, if you're a content or course creator, if you're looking to build some sort of a business that makes you the boss, the CEO, the entrepreneur that you're craving to be, what you actually need to be doing is focusing on building the business. And the certification stuff comes later. So is it true or is it true? Are there successful coaches and business owners that you see out there who aren't certified? Just think about that for a second. Because I know in the fitness industry, for sure, this was something that used to really grind my gears. I would see trainers, and I say that in quotes, I would see trainers on the internet who were just really good looking or really flashy, or they had really great content, or they were really educational or entertaining to watch, but they maybe weren't even certified, but they were crushing it in the fitness business game. Because they were aspirational, they were inspirational, because they had large followings, because people fell in love with who they were. Now, again, I'm not saying that's right, but what I'm asking is it true that there could be people out there doing the thing that you want to do who are less certified, less qualified, and have less experience than you? And the answer is 100% yes. And again, it doesn't make them right, it doesn't make you wrong, but I want you to recognize the business building aspect. So let's just unpack this for a second. Without overwhelming you, I don't want to overwhelm you, but I want you to recognize what it requires to build an actual business. Because a lot of people, a lot of struggling coaches, a lot of broke entrepreneurs think that posting a post on social media equals I have a business. And that could not be further from the truth. So if you're listening to this episode and you've been trying to build your business, or you have been building it and you've been hustling your little tush off, you know that it is not as simple as one post equals a business. So when you're building your business, we need to be doing everything from first nailing our niche and understanding our ideal client inside out. We need to make sure we're mastering our messaging and becoming a psychologist of the words of our messaging. We need to begin building an audience. We have to begin building credibility, authority, brand awareness, relationships that equal know, like, and trust. We want to build an email list, which is wildly important because an email list is owned versus social media platforms, which are borrowed. Topic for a different day. We need to back into a launch, reverse engineer our goals and everything that we're going to do to get there. We need to be making sure that we're creating a juicy, irresistible offer. This is literally the most important part. It's the irresistible offer that's going to help you make the sales. We need to practice speaking, pitching, selling. We need to create content. We need to nurture relationships and our audience so that we can warm our cold leads up to get them to a place where they're warm and then eventually burning hot and ready to buy. We may be, depending on our industry, need to be focused on things like putting together a website, a pitch deck, PR, media, getting exposure, going on a podcast tour. So all of these things, I just listed about 10 of them, all of these things need to get done in order for you to have a successful, sustainable, and scalable business. But so often people are focused on, I need to get the certification first. And I'm here to tell you that that's just not the truth. Now, like anything that I teach, I'm teaching from experience. So these are my personal beliefs. You could disagree with them, and that's totally fine. My hope is that it just gets you to think a little bit differently. Maybe put on a different pair of glasses, right? See the world, see your business from a different lens. So while you're getting your certification, you could actually be doing all of these things that need to get done in the front of your business. And so my personal opinion is that waiting to get certified or getting another certification or degree before you start building the business is actually backwards. And the reason is the business stuff takes a long time. It's kind of like gardening. I don't know much about gardening, so excuse me if I'm wrong, but there's this element to gardening that takes time. And at first, we want to find the land. And then when we get the land, we want to till, I think it's called tilling. We want to till the soil, right? We want to make sure that we have really good nutrient-dense soil. And then we figure out how deep do we need to plant the seed, because different seeds need to be planted at different depths. And how far apart does it need to be from the other seedlings around it so that they don't, I don't know what they would do, fight each other for the good soil? I'm not sure. I told you I'm not a gardener. So then you dig the hole and you plant the seed, and then you continue to water it. And you make sure it's getting sunlight. And you nurture it without this expectation that it's going to break through and provide you fruit tomorrow. But you know that certain plants, certain fruits, certain flowers are going to take a longer time before they actually break through the surface of the earth. And then they're going to have to continue to grow tall and strong before they might bear that fruit or whatever it is that you're planting. And sometimes you actually have to move the seedling that you've planted because it's not getting enough sunlight, or because it's too close to something else, or because it's getting too much water or not enough water. There are different variables that come into play when you're gardening. And so building a business is the exact same thing. Planting the seed and making sure it has water and nurturing it and making sure it's in good nutrient-dense soil is the niche and the messaging and the building the audience and the credibility and the relationships and the offer and the email list. They're the same thing. So while you're doing all of those things, you actually could be getting your certification, your diploma, your piece of paper that you're waiting for. Again, I'm not saying those papers aren't important or those degrees, but you could be doing it at the exact same time. Because the thing that actually takes a longer amount of time is the business building stuff. It's the foundations, it's the relationships, it's the brand awareness. That's what takes the most time. A certification often takes a weekend. It might be 200 hours. It might be a week-long retreat. It might be a 3-month, 6-month, 9-month class. But realize that if you're waiting for that weekend or that week-long retreat or that 6-month, 9-month class, you're putting your business off that amount of time plus another 3, 6, 9 months of building. So now you've just put yourself back a year and a half, 2 years, 18 months, 6 months, whatever it might be, because you're waiting for this piece of paper. So the thing that I always tell my clients when they come to me or our students when they come into our programs is you can absolutely be getting the certification to make sure you're covering your butt legally and so that you have all of the education that you want while you're building the business. But I really do truly believe that building the business should come first. It's kind of like getting all the kinks out. It's shaking off the nerves. It's starting to put yourself out there, creating the content. And oh, by the way, while you're doing these things and you're getting a certification on the back end, imagine how much content is going to be popping up, how many things, how many ideas, how much motivation and inspiration you're going to feel by going through the process of getting certified on the back end. It's like a portal of never-ending problems and solutions. It's learning real time about the things that people are going through. And it's the best way, in my eyes, to actually learn something is to teach it. So again, there's a blurry line here. I don't want you teaching something that you're not credible or not comfortable teaching. But wouldn't it be amazing to learn something in your certification, read it, practice it, understand it, truly start to embody it, and then spit it back out into the world as something that you're teaching? And if you go back to episode 2 of our podcast, you can learn all about being an expert. And so this is the perfect opportunity for you to be both the research and the role model expert at the exact same time. So you don't have to worry about being the results expert. You're in it. You're learning. You're getting the certification. You're coming forward and you're telling your audience, hey, look at this really cool thing that I learned. Or check this thing out that I read. I'm not sure how I feel about it right now, but I want to share it with you because I'd love to start the conversation. How do you feel about it? Have you ever thought about it in this way? Right? It's a really great opportunity for you to be, quote, in the weeds with your audience. So at the end of the day, get your certifications, get your degrees, make sure you're legally sound and you're staying within your legal scope of practice, and focus on the business first. Be building the business first while you're getting the certification. It really is the better way. And I'm really cautious when I say should and better and best because I don't believe those things are true. But it really is the better way to make sure that you're building a solid foundation. Because again, if you don't, you could potentially be putting off your impact, your sales, your income for another 3, 6, 9, 12 months just because you're waiting for this little piece of paper that tells you that you're allowed to go now do the thing that you wanted to go do or you were doing anyway. Start building the business today. Worry about the certifications on the back end, and don't let them stop you from serving, from learning, from growing, from evolving. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're all here for. So just a quickie for you on certifications and on my belief, my personal belief of how it all goes down. When you're listening to this episode, we have officially kicked off our Digital Business Evolution live experience, which is a 3-part masterclass where I'm handing you the roadmap to doing all the things I just told you completely for free. So everything from figuring out your messaging and your niche and your personal story to creating that irresistible offer, all of the things that I listed. How are you going to grow your audience? How are you going to grow your impact? How are you going to grow your sales? It's all going down in the Digital Business Evolution live experience. I'd love for you to join us. You can absolutely still join us. Even if you've missed day 1, it doesn't matter. Recordings are available, replays are available, and this is happening March 24th, 29th, and 31st. So it's a Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday experience, totally for free, and you're not going to want to miss it. I'm handing you frameworks. I'm telling you about the most common mistakes that I see. I'm literally gifting you a lather, rinse, repeat blueprint for your business. So whether or not you have a certification yet, you're in the middle of getting one, you're thinking about getting one, or it never even crossed your mind, but you know you want to be a coach, you know you want to be a content creator, you know you want to be a digital CEO, a digital business owner, then come on over, get registered, and join us in this program. You can go to jessglazer.com/DBE live experience. That's DBE, like Digital Business Evolution live experience. Get yourself registered, and we will see you on the other side. Until next time, cheers to your evolution. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you loved this episode, I invite you to be a part of our ripple effect and share it with a friend. And please, if you feel called, take 30 seconds to leave a 5-star review, and I'll be forever grateful. Until next time, cheers to your evolution.